make sure no fluid, nothing like that happens.
Does it work?
Yeah, I think it works, man. Whatever those guys in the training room says works, I'm going to believe that they know what they're doing. They're professionals.
How you feeling this short week?
I feel good, man. Banged up. It was a gritty game. I know we talked to you guys after the game, all the good stuff, 3-0. Still a win, but at the same time, gritty game, physical game. Had some guys go down, so I think we're banged up and sore, man, but we're ready to go get win number 8. That's our goal.
Running the football, obviously, Madison's status, you just saw Cam Akers with the boot on, this season's that, we talk about where it's taking a toll running back as much as anything. How does that change what you guys do, or are you intent on running the football no matter what?
Yeah, I think my answer, man. It's intent on running the ball no matter what. I think whoever's in there, next man up mentality, whether it's Madison, whether it's Cam Akers, whether it's Ty Chandler, whether it's Kane, whoever it is that's back there, as an offensive line, we want to block for them. We want to open holes. And we all know that getting the run game established opens everything else up. So, yeah, we're banged up in that room. We're banged up in a lot of areas. It's also middle of December, man. That's what happens. But we got to be able to be playing our best ball when it counts, which is right now. So we got to find a way. Whatever that looks like, we got to find a way.
And how about who plays quarterback? What does that mean to the lineman?
We've talked about that a lot this week. I mean, not this week, but this year, as we've had Kirk go down. We've had multiple quarterbacks in the game. I mean, we've had Mullen's in the game now, Dobbs in the game, Jaron Hall, and Kirk Cousins. So as an offensive line, you want to get as much as you can used to the guy that's going to be in the backfield to understand how they're going to move in the pocket, how they're going to move around, how they're going to command the huddle, how they're going to call plays, which way do they move when there's pressure, the whole deal. So that's something we're constantly trying to do as an offensive lineman is get used to who's going to be back there. So as always, whoever the coaches decide is going to be back there in the backfield, who's going to give us the best chance to win the football game, that's who we're going to roll with. But at the same time, we know we need everybody in this locker room with how game days have went for us.
You say just find a way.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done in this league, and yet all of this stuff you just talked about, you guys are 7-6 right in the playoff race. How satisfying is that you have found a way?
Yeah, well, it is easier said than done. And one thing we've done a great job of is finding a way. You look at not only maybe the number of guys that have went down on this team, but maybe the quality of a lot of the guys that have went down on this football team. And
you should be dead in the water.
Yeah, and we found a way.
Yeah.
We found a way. And it's a testament to the culture, the organization, and the coaches here. I think it's also a testament to the guys in this locker room and what we're willing to do and what we're willing to put on the line for each other on game days and throughout the week to be prepared. And the one thing I don't think is noticed as much is a lot of guys that have gotten time in these games are guys that haven't gotten the week to prepare. I mean, it's you're thrown in. You're thrown in on game day. Can you make something happen? And that's a testament to what this place is about. I've said it to you guys since the day I showed up here. I was the same way when we were 2-4 and you guys were asking me questions to where we're 7-6 now. The culture here is different, man, and I think that shows in times like this.
Don't you talk about being at your best right now? What's it like December when you look at the standings, all these teams are bunched together?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the AFC, and there's like 6, 7-6 teams. You look at the NFC, and I think there's like maybe 5 or 6, 6-7 teams. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot right there in the middle. Usually by this time of the year, I feel like we're used to seeing a bunch of teams eliminated from playoff contention. I think we're going into week 15, right? And you're like, okay, the playoffs, it's kind of getting set. I think it's the complete opposite this year. I think it's anyone's ball game. I mean, you still have teams that are 5-8 that have been doing well recently, they have a great shot at making the playoffs still. You know what I mean? Because we're all within 1, 2, or 3 games. So it's an AFC opponent this week. It's not an NFC opponent. It doesn't matter, right? We need the win every week. We said last week that we're going to have to take it 1 week at a time and have 4 one-week seasons to end the year. So we won the first season. Nice. It's out of the way. You know what I mean? Wasn't pretty, but now let's start season 2, and let's just focus everything on the Bengals, man, especially on a short week, especially knowing we're going to have a few extra days getting ready for that next game, and knowing that we have 3 NFC North opponents back-to-back coming up. Each one is huge. But, yeah, everyone's jumbled up, man. It's anyone's ball game at this point, so we gotta put our foot on the gas pedal and empty the tanks.
Dalton, you talked about guys having to get thrown in. I know you're not playing right next to him, but with David coming in on the line,
Yeah.
he's had to do that a few times now. Just what do you appreciate about sort of his veteran ability to pop in?
Yeah, listen, I'm glad there's a camera because I love talking about my teammates, and DQ is a guy that I would talk about as long as I could. Not only is he a veteran presence in that room, not only is he's been instrumental for me just the encouragement, the positivity, I think it's him being in the league for so long, just what he brings to that room and being able to step in like he's done, the way he did in Atlanta and then the way he did yesterday or the day before was just incredible. So DQ, I couldn't say enough good things about him. We love him in our room. Everyone loves the guy. We call him DQ, we call him Blizz, we call him Quiz, whatever it may be. And he's just a dog. He's one of those guys that'll be willing to go in there and do anything for the team and make no excuses. I mean, he's out there blocking Mad Max Crosby. That's not an easy feat to go in cold and go do. Also, hats off to Blake Brandel, man. Like, that dude coming in and playing guard, I mean, he's a big body dude. I think he played tackle in college. I know he's been here a lot longer than me. You guys all know him very well, but positive dude, a lot of energy. I'm really proud of the way those guys played. So it's always good to see guys like that come in. And even though we put 3 points up on the scoreboard, I think there was a lot of good things we did.
Dalton, what would have been your impressions of Nick Mullen and locker mate? And
yeah, dude, it was funny in the game, man. So we get in the game and our fans traveled very, very well. So it wasn't the loudest away game that we've been at, but Mullins hadn't been in yet. So when he gets in that game, he is screaming. He is screaming the play calls. And we, as offensive line, we start seeing Crosby and the guys, like they're starting to like lean in and listen. So we're like, Mullins, like, like you could tell we caught him off guard. He's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll slow down, I'll calm down. We're like, hey, we love the enthusiasm, man. And he was just amped up, ready to go. He just came in right away like he's been doing it all year. I mean, between that and how loud he was and commanding of the huddle, I mean, we're walking out on the field and he's like, I need two things. I need two things from you guys. I need urgency and focus. I know it's been a long day. I know it's been a grind. I know it's been crazy out here. Like, kudos to him, bro. You know what I mean? He easily could have came out and been head down, melancholy, quiet. Moment could have been too big for him, worried, but he came in there, he commanded that sucker, and he helped us win the football game. So I love these questions, man. I'll keep hyping up anyone I can.
He's pretty quiet off the field, right?
He's very quiet. He's very quiet. He's not a guy that, like, Mullins isn't the guy that, like, he wants the attention. He doesn't want the attention on him. He's just a good dude. He comes in here day in and day out, works his butt off, and at the same time, getting to know him, you just know him by who he is. You're like, I know when he gets his shot, he's ready to go. He might be quiet, but he's in that playbook. He's watching. He's very intentional. He's very intellectual. So it didn't surprise me what he came in and did.
How many times before that had you heard him be that vocal?
I would say that. I mean, I hadn't had a chance to work with him at quarterback. I mean, maybe a few times here and there, but never to where it was his show. You know what I mean? Never to where it's like, hey, Mullins, it's your show. Get out there and take control of it. I'm sure some other guys on the team have been with him longer, but for me, it's the first time I heard it. I'm like, who the heck is that guy? All right, is that Mullins? Okay, let's go. So it was good.
I know you were here at the beginning, but if you told most people this team's going to start 0-3, and they're going to lose Cousins, they're going to lose Jefferson, most people would be like, all right, this thing's going nowhere. Is this season sort of a testament to just keep battling and you never know?
It is. It's a testament to what life is. Each and every one of you guys can attest to that. This game of football, sometimes we think it's just its own deal, but it's just like life, man. Life is going to beat you down, and you're going to be counted out, and the world's going to count you out. People are going to count you out, and it's those teams or maybe those people that you put your head down and you get gritty and you fight your ass off, man. You'll be surprised where you can get, and I think that's exactly what this team has done this year is we've had those obstacles. We've had those challenges. We've lost those great players. I'm not talking, good player that's been here a while. We lost our elite players on this football team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And we've just dug in, put our claws in, and we've just freaking went back to work, man. And we've just refused to let all the stories about us be true. We've refused to be counted out. And there's a lot of football left. There's 4 football games left. So there's a lot left that we have to do. But I think it's awesome to find ourselves going into Week 15 at 7-6, as opposed to whatever it is, out of playoff contention. And it's a good spot to be in. We got a lot of ball in front of us, and we control our destiny. We have the key to it each and every week, and that's just win football games, and we'll be where we want to be.
Just how hard is it to play quarterback in this league?
Poof. I wish I knew. I'm not gonna for a second act like I know what it's like to play quarterback. I know what it's like to block for one. And that is a very extremely hard job. I can only imagine being behind that and having 5 different guys blocking like that and not to mention they're all like over 6'5", and you got to find a way to get balls down the field, and DBs and coaches in your ear and fans watching you. I mean, it's a position that I think we all maybe daydream of playing as kids or envision ourselves someday as doing, but those days of me daydreaming of being a quarterback are long over. I want nothing to do with it, man. These guys are special. Their job is extremely hard, and yeah, they get a lot of credit when they do some good things, right? But they get all the bad credit too when things don't go the team's way. And one week you can be up in the penthouse, and the next week you can be down in the you-know-what house. And that's just the game. That's the game of football, and that's what it's like to be a quarterback. You got to stay composed. You got to be able to ride those waves. And I think everyone we've had in this year has done a really extraordinary job. It's tough. Some games don't go our way. Sometimes balls don't bounce our way. But like I just answered that question. We just keep finding a way. Our quarterbacks are doing the same.